Hello and welcome back. It's Friday Fitness today, and I'm very pleased to be coming to you from inside the Cronometer. Now, this is a great little app. Today, I want to talk to you about just getting started. And, you know, we're a good month past the new year now, so all of those New Year's resolutions that did or didn't work out are done, and now it's time to actually get down to work and do something about our riding fitness, which is what we're here about. So I think one of the biggest things, one of the hardest things, is to just take that first step. It can seem really overwhelming. And I was talking to somebody this morning on the blog actually about that. And this wasn't about rider fitness. It was actually about horse training. And she said that she's been not riding her horse. Her horse has been off sick for 3 months now. And she said, as each day goes past, it gets a little bit harder to get back on the horse because the horse has been out of work for that much longer. And so she's a little bit more nervous. And really, the longer it goes, the worse it gets, of course. And I think the same thing happens for our fitness. You know, the longer it goes, the harder it gets to actually make a start. So what I want to do today is just encourage you just to make a start. It doesn't have to be a big start. It can be something that you implement and you don't actually have to change anything else. And that's why I want to introduce you to this little app called the Cronometer. So if I put the link in there, in the comment, just above the comments on this post, so you can go there directly. Now, this is actually a free app, and you can get it on your computer. You're looking at mine on my computer at the moment, and it also will go on your smartphone, so you can use it wherever you go. Or you can do like I do, which is pay, I think, $5 or $6 a year, and you can have it ad-free, which I much prefer, not to see the ads. There's also a subscription for about $24 or something. I'm not actually quite sure what that means, but you can look into it if you like it. So what I want to encourage you to do is go and have a look at it. The nice thing about this is that it's very customizable. So you can go into your profile right here, and you can customize all the things that you want. So you can set all your targets. You see here, I've got this to fixed targets, which means I'm going to tell the app exactly how many carbs, how much protein, and how much carbohydrates and fats I want to eat. And then if we go back to the main page, every time I add something to the diary, to my food diary, it's going to come up down here in these circles and tell me where I am on my target. So let's just have a quick look and see how it works. First of all, I just want to show you how simple it is once you get used to it. So we just need to, let's say, you know, it's breakfast time. I'm just going to add what I might have for breakfast. And let's say I'll have boiled eggs for breakfast. Maybe I'll have 2 boiled eggs. I'm just going to click that and add that serving. Okay. So there we are. What that's done immediately is show me down here that I've had just 19% of my total targets, but it's going to show me the calories, the protein, the carbs, and the fat, which are all the things I'm interested in. It will also break down everything you eat into much greater detail for you. So as you add things, all of these figures will change so you can see exactly where you are. So let's add a couple more things. Let's say I had we'll come up to lunch. We're going to have, let's say, a piece of salmon, a cup of salmon, and we'll have some vegetables with that. So perhaps some, what have we got? It comes up immediately with the things you eat most frequently. So maybe a cup of broccoli. I'll have some lemon on that to I'll cooked it in some olive oil. There we go. And we'll search lemon juice raw. juice from 1 lemon. There we go. So there we are. We've added that. Now I've got a total calories, which would be useful because I'm going to want to lose some weight. So I need to be eating in a calorie deficit, but that will be within my total. So I think my calorie now, what I'm targeting is 1,200. So that has taken me up to just 41% of my total, which lets me know what I've got left for the rest of the day. So as you can see, it's really, really simple to use. It will work on your phone as well. So if you're out and about, you can just simply add things. Now, what I'm going to encourage you to do today is not program the whole thing. I just want to encourage you to get it or something like it. Now, I prefer this app over MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is also very popular. This one is slightly more difficult to use in that it just takes a little bit more getting used to, but it is much more customizable and it doesn't give you quite as much advice as MyFitnessPal does. So it doesn't tell you, if you do exercise, it doesn't tell you should be eating, more calories to make up for that exercise, things like that. If you're a user of a Fitbit or any other of those exercise tracking devices, this will tie up with that. So every morning when I weigh myself on my scales, because I'm a Fitbit user and I use a Fitbit scale, it automatically registers in here for me. So I don't even have to put that in. That all comes up every morning. So that will show on my trends. We can go over to your trends and that will show what your macros have been for the past however long you want to look at it, and your weight. And I also like to look at my carb intake as well. You can do a full nutrition report, which will look at you over a period of time. Now, that's a really interesting thing to do. So you can look at what you've been doing, how your progress is. This is a really, really useful tool. So that nutrition report, a full report where you can add your biometrics if you do that. And it's also got a place where you can store your snaps. Now, if you look under foods, what I've found with this app is that its customizable foods are very American, and because I'm in Australia, my processed foods or anything like that really aren't the same as the American ones. So this has not been terribly useful, although it is apparently quite easy to create your own food. I haven't done that. What I have found with this is that it really makes me eat quite well, because I know that if I start from scratch, I can simply enter the ingredients. And if I want to buy something that's, already prepared, then I've got to go and make my own customizable food, which I don't really want to do. So it's actually quite a good incentive to get you eating clean, which is great, really good. One thing you will find, if we go back to the diary here, is a little suggested foods. So they look at what macros you've programmed in and they said, oh, well, given that, you might like these things. And you can go through these things like, macadamia nuts raw. Who doesn't love those? And pecans raw. You can tell them whether you like those things or not. And if you don't, they'll come up with some other ideas. So that's also pretty useful. Now, with it is a little bit harder to use, as I said, than MyFitnessPal or some of the others, but they've got a very good help section. And I gave you also the link up above the comments to their YouTube channel, which is actually the Cronometer University. So that's the same thing. They've got over 25 videos on how to use it. They're short. They are, once you've worked it out, it really is very simple. What I really want to encourage you to do today, and please leave me a comment, is simply to take that first step. It is the first step that's the hardest thing to do. So I encourage you to take that first step, which is simply to get the app, You don't have to do anything else yet. Just get the app and start tracking what you're eating. And what I'm also going to ask you to do is put it down, put the food down, enter it into the Cronometer before you put it in your mouth. And that has an amazing effect on whether or not we actually eat it. And I think you'll find that, if you're feeling a bit peckish, it's about lunchtime and you think, oh, okay, well, I'll go and I'll have a, white bread cheese sandwich or something because that's easy. You think, oh, okay, let's put that in the Cronometer, and you're going to add your food. You're going to get white bread store-bought. There we go. Serving snack size, we'll go 1 large slice. We're going to have 2 because we're having a sandwich. So we'll add that, and immediately you can see that, that would throw my net carb, which is net carbs at 20 grams, has gone, over twice what I'm allowed, and it's just taken up, almost all of my targets completely. So, you might think again about that. Or even if this week, even if for a week you decide, well, I'm just going to track what I eat, because that's a really, really useful thing to do as well. Because then when you say, okay, now I'm going to start introducing small changes, because we know that small changes are achievable. Huge changes, like, I don't want you to jump in here today and say, oh, I'm going to go on a ketogenic diet or something, and I'm only going to have X amount of carbs and this much fat and this much protein, because that's an enormous change. What you're much better off doing is spending a week playing with this app and really getting to know it, because we do know that 80% of your sort of figure and fitness level and how you look is about the diet. It's not about running yourself ragged doing exercise. 80% of it is right here, and you are completely in control of what goes in your mouth. But first, we have to know what's going in your mouth. So you can't change what you don't measure. So maybe make this week the week about measuring it. So grab yourself the app. It is free if you can put up with a few ads. If you can't put up with a few ads like I can't, then it will cost you $5, I think, for the year. And log everything you eat this week. And then we can start making changes. And then you'll see when you go to your trends page and have a look at that, you'll then see how these changes are affecting you and your figure and your fitness level. And this will inspire you to do more and more and more. So I hope that was helpful. It was very nice to see you here, and I will be back on Monday with some motivation for you and your horse training. See you then. Bye.